Go ahead, Senator Crapo, explain your amendment.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This amendment simply adds a one-sentence provision stating that if the new Bureau created in the bill wants to investigate a consumer's individual transaction, then the Bureau must get written permission from the individual. Senator Enzi filed this amendment during consideration of the bill on the Senate floor and provided a detailed speech about his concerns of Big Brother looking over your shoulder on a daily basis at your own personal financial records. But unfortunately, because of the way the procedure finished up in the Senate, he was not able to have a vote on that amendment. Simply stated, the amendment says the Bureau can't investigate someone's banking activities or credit card purchases without that person's permission. If the consumer gets into credit card trouble and wants the Bureau's help, all the consumer needs to do is contact the Bureau and give them permission to look at their financial documents. The amendment will protect the privacy of Americans. The new Bureau should not be investigating individual financial transactions of all Americans without their permission. Pages 1414 to 1416 of the conference text gives the Bureau the power to collect information on businesses and individuals. It would even be able to require individuals to answer questions under oath about their personal finances. The federal government would be allowed to collect all kinds of financial data about consumers to monitor how we as consumers do our banking, how and why we purchase products, and even when we pull $20 out of the ATM. I'm told that the theory behind this language is behavior regulation. I don't know if that's what was intended, but behavior regulation studies human behavior, interactions, and habits, and then tries to determine how we spend our money and go about our daily lives. The premise here is that consumers of financial products are often not rational decision makers, and that consumers make decisions against their own self-interest. To compensate for their irrationality, the argument goes, we need regulators to prevent financial institutions from taking advantage of their irrationality. How would the government regulators come to understand consumers and their irrationality? And the answer is gathering enormous amounts of information about the consumers and analyzing it. Under this bill, the regulators can get any and all financial information from financial institutions, and they can get it directly from individual Americans. The regulators will then supplant the judgment of Americans with their own judgments about what is appropriate. Americans don't have any idea that the consumer agency we're proposing to establish here will have such unlimited access to their personal financial information. Americans want protection from fraud, and they want straightforward disclosures, but they don't want regulators to interfere with their own pursuit of happiness as they see fit. Most consumers do not want the federal government collecting daily transactional financial information on them. Consumers should have the power to let the Bureau into their personal lives if they choose, but the Bureau should not have the independent power to get into their lives if they do not choose so. And again, Mr. Chairman, I know there's some debate about just what authority is intended in this bill and how far everything should go, but the fact is, as I read the language, it's pretty clear that the agency would have this authority, and there's nothing wrong, in my opinion, with just putting one sentence in the bill that says the agency does not have the authority to get into the private transactions of consumers without their permission.